All right, number one, though, is the Texas Longhorns. Texas has the number one linebacker unit in the country for me, and now the number one secondary in the country for me, which means Texas has pretty easily the best back seven in college football going into next year. And they still have a great defensive line, too, headlined by my number one edge defender in Colin Simmons. But the secondary has my number 4 safety in the country in Michael Taaffe, my number 6 corner in the country in Malik Muhammad. Michael Taaffe was the sport's 4th most valuable safety in the nation last year, according to our wins above average metric. Only Caleb Downs was a more valuable returning safety than Michael Taaffe last year. And Malik Muhammad is the 4th most valuable returning power 4 corner since 2023, his first 2 years of college football, according to our wins above average metric as well. And then starting in the slot will be, Jalen Gilbo, who started in the slot for them last year. He'll be moving to outside corner this year, a lot like Jahdae Barron did for Texas too. So he's kind of doing what he did. And then at nickel will be junior Jelani McDonald. He had an 89.1 run defense grade last year, tied for 6th among all safeties in the country. The other safety spot is a little up for grabs right now next to Michael Taaffe, but keep an eye on redshirt sophomore Derek Williams Jr. He only played in 4 games this past season due to a season-ending knee injury, but the year before as a true freshman, very impressive 77.8 run defense grade on 397 snaps that year. And they have plenty of depth in their secondary too. Kobe Black, Cade Phillips, Grayson Littleton at corner, Xavier Filsame at safety, Jonah Williams at safety, and Jordan Johnson-Rebel at safety too. Only Johnson-Rebel, out of all those players I just mentioned, I believe 6 players, only Johnson-Rebel was not a former top 10 recruit at his position coming out of high school. Both Jonah Williams and Cade Phillips were 5-star recruits in the 2025 high school class. So I believe Jonah Williams was the number 1 safety coming out of high school too. So 2 former 5-stars as true freshmen to provide depth for you, and a lot of other former highly rated recruits, and then also 2 stars in Michael Taaffe and Malik Muhammad in that secondary too.
It says a lot about Texas. They led the nation in coverage grade last year. It was a huge reason they got to the Final Four. What Pete Kwiatkowski is doing with this defense, and the fact that you still have him as the number 1 secondary, despite losing Jahdae Barron first-round pick and Andrew Makuba second-round pick, it just says so much about the talent and the depth of it, right? The top-end guys like Taaffe and Muhammad, the next wave of guys that they have coming that you mentioned, like McDonald at safety, is a player I really like in run defense. I just think that's going to be the key now. We've seen it. They've gotten this machine rolling on the D-line with NFL talent rolling in every year, but you're getting the same thing in the secondary, and this Texas team very well could be the best coverage team in the country again this season. It makes life a lot easier on a new quarterback in Arch Manning when you know your defense is going to get stops, and we even have to remember this was really the only team all season that shut down Jeremiah Smith and found a way to do that. They got beat because their offense couldn't score enough, execute in the red zone, and then obviously a team like Ohio State's going to put up enough points to give themselves a chance. But no, this Texas defense, we have to remember, even though all the hype's on Manning, that their defense is going to be the reason they win games first and foremost. They can make stops. They were the best team in the country in coverage last year. Very well could be again this year.
Yeah, a loaded defense coming back next year. I know, again, like Dalton said, a lot of the hype will be on Arch Manning, deservedly so, but that defense is going to be loaded once again. Maybe at least a top 3 to 5 defense in college football going next year, if not number 1. So Texas comes in at my number 1 secondaries list. Hey, thanks for watching another episode of the PFF College Football Show. Please make sure you guys subscribe to the channel.
Also, subscribe to PFF Plus at subscribe.pff.com for all of the same data and grades that we use in our show, plus fantasy tools, betting tools, and our mock draft simulator.